Marty, do you use this timer?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start you guys up. I'm going to roll out. I got something I got working on, and I'll come right back in. They do two, one break, or how many breaks you guys do?
One.
One. Okay. I'll be monitoring you guys. So you guys are ready to go whenever you want to start.
Good morning, Columbus, and welcome to another edition of From Our House to Your Home, the Remodeler Showcase. My name's Marty Reed. I'm your host, and the show is brought to you by Frog Hauling. You want to clean your garage, your basement, your yard, you're getting ready to move, you need to get rid of all that junk, think of Frog Hauling. Give us a call. We'll bring you out a container that meets your needs. And if you're a remodeling contractor and only the best product will do for your customers, think of Frog Hauling. Well, we have a repeat guest today. Now, it's been a couple of years, right?
Sure has.
Okay, and I'm excited because this is one of the oldest companies in Columbus, quite frankly. You guys have been around. I'm not going to tell them yet who you are. But you've been around a long time. And I think I'll impose upon you to give a little history of the company, kind of up front. But it's Franklin Art Glass, Columbus, Ohio. And I'm sure the audience, there's a whole ton of people that are familiar with you folks. But give them a little history, when you started and kind of how the company progressed.
Franklin Art Glass got their start in 1924, fourth generation family owned, and located in German Village, just south of downtown Columbus. Got a really nice facility there, about 23,000 square foot.
Wow.
And everything you need to get into the trade.
Okay. I would tell everyone, go take a look at your website, because, I try to prepare a little bit when I have a guest on the show. But I know about your company. But I said I need a refresher because I'm having, Garrett back on today to talk about the company. And you do a lot of different things. And you service a lot of different types of industries, so to speak. And I'm going to give you a fact that I found on your website. Now, let's see if I remember this correctly. I didn't realize this, but you did, let's call them the lamps for Wendy's.
That is correct.
Do you remember the number?
There's about 40,000 of those things, plus or minus.
I was blown away. You made 40,000 lamps for Wendy's.
Had our own special department that did nothing but lamps.
How long did it take to do that?
That contract, that went on for years and years.
I can imagine.
Yeah, they pumped them out.
I never thought it would be a handmade lamp.
Oh yeah, sure.
I figured, but that's what I'm referring to. You do a lot of different things for a lot of different industries, and I want to take a minute and kind of cover them. You can start with I know you do. I'll let you do. You do residential. I'll throw them out to you.
That is correct. We do residential. Everything from simple cabinet doors where you might put just a single sheet of glass into it, or you bring a cabinet door in that has a raised panel. It's got a wood center to it, and we can remove that and then put glass into it, so you don't have to buy all new cabinets.
And then if you just want a stained glass window for your house, you guys will do that,
for your house. Anywhere there's an opening, we can figure out how to put a custom piece into it. Doors, side lights, transom, skylights.
But there's another kind of glass that you carry too. I saw that in your catalog. The stained glass is where you're going to make the actual, let's call it pane, for the opening, but you carry things like for shower doors, frosted glass, all that kind of stuff too.
We do have some a real nice selection of what we call architectural specialties, where they're larger sheets. They can be tempered or they can be laminated to meet residential building code, safety codes, and they can be used in some of the more fringe applications. Okay,
so now from a commercial standpoint, you have on your website a whole bunch of different projects that people can take a look at, but talk a little bit about commercial applications, the things you do.
Commercial work would probably encompass, doors, side lights, things where we would incorporate company logos.
Yeah. That's an important point. Because I think a lot of times when people think of stained glass windows, they think in terms of, how do I describe it? Maybe a religious look to
That's
it.
probably the first thing that comes to mind is church work.
Yeah, church work, right? Because every church you walk into has stained glass windows.
Right.
Okay, but it's not. That's not from a commercial standpoint. It's whatever they can dream up. You can come up with that.
More often than not, yeah. And if we haven't done it, we'll sure figure out how to do it.
Are there limitations on the size of a stained glass window for commercial applications?
As far as a single installed unit, yes, you really need to consider that, the footage that's involved when it comes to a leaded panel. But you can have a huge opening and then have individual panels put into it. So they're subdivided by T-bars.
I got you.
Okay, so the individual panels make up the entire image.
Okay. Now, if I'm doing a commercial application, let's say it's going to have exterior exposure. You know, everything today in Windows is double pane, triple pane, all those kind of things. How do you handle that too, or is that someone else that has to? For the lack of a better term, it's like, do you put a storm window over? I mean, how do you put these things together?
We can do a single glaze exterior protective system that would be clear glass over top of stained glass or leaded glass. We can do leaded glass that is sandwiched or encased inside of an insulated unit. We can do clear insulated units with your logo, the frog hauling logo.
There you go.
In the dry air space, so it's protected from the elements. It still gets plenty of visibility from the exterior for when your customers walk up to your shop.
Okay. I've mentioned a couple, or we've talked about them, residential and commercial. You also do churches.
Oh, yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
And everything from new design, fabrication, and installation to restoration and preservation work, where we go in and we can do single piece repairs on site. We can remove entire openings, bring them back to the shop, disassemble them, re-lead them, reinstall them, so they're brand new windows with old glass. They'll live for another 75 or 100 years.
Now, that's an important thing to remember, and I hadn't thought of this. You do repair work.
Sure do.
And I remember I forgot all about this. We had a house over in Arlington that had the leaded glass, but it was clear, but it was the leaded glass. And I had 4 little sons, and guess what? And I remember, I forgot all about this. This was maybe, it's been over 10 years ago, for sure, maybe 20. I brought down the sash to you guys so that I could get it repaired, because I had no clue. It's kind of like, you can't take it over to the hardware store. They don't know what the heck's going on.
No, we'll do that, no problem. And you bringing the sash or the panel to us is a great way to do it. It expedites the process, saves you a couple of bucks on service calls. But
more importantly, we get it done right.
It's done right.
You
Yeah.
go to the experts, right?
We'll tune it up, make it right and tight for you, and no one will know the difference.
Okay. Okay, so we talked commercial, residential, kind of church setting.
Sure.
Is there anything else that you do?
Do a lot of shelving, glass shelving.
Really?
For you, for your kitchen or for entertainment centers, things like that. Kind of want to streamline the look of the cabinets, get rid of the wood shelves, put glass in there.
Now, is that... So it's really not leaded glass. It's just that you have the capability of getting a glass that is going to not break when I put objects on it.
Right.
Thick enough.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, we do. Typically, we're going to go with a 3/8 thick tempered glass, so it's impact resistant and makes it a lot stronger. So you can load it up. Yeah, you can put a fair amount of weight on it.
If that glass, this is just a side note, I happened to think of something. I had a side table at my house that had a glass top and got scratches in it. Is that something you repair?
We can polish glass. Typically, the rule of thumb is if you can feel the scratch with your fingernail, if it clicks when you drag your fingernail over it, you're better off just getting a new piece of glass, because we're not going to be able to polish that out.
Too deep.
It's too deep. Yeah, you'll end up with a divot.
Okay. Now, is there anything else we need to mention?
Man, you're doing a pretty good job so far of taking us where we need to go.
Okay. We're going to do two other things today. I want to talk a little bit about, I think it's kind of neat. You have classes.
Sure.
We'll talk about that. And then I want to talk about, in a later segment, touch on the design process. In other words, somebody comes to you and they'll say, I know I want something in stained glass, but how do you get them? I can't imagine, because there's so many pieces and parts there can be to a stain. How do you get them to the end product and the design? And we'll talk about that. But let's back up. And this is of interest to me because I don't know why, but this was years ago. I took a stained glass class, and I was over in Clintonville, right? But people can actually come to your facility and take a how to make stained glass window kind of class.
You bet.
Now, they're not going to be the craftsmen like you. I mean, you said last time you were on, you told me this. I was amazed how many years experience your people have.
We have, most of the folks in our shop have been there 10 years or better.
Unbelievable. They're artists.
Yeah, they're really dedicated to the craft, and the folks that we have working with us are really good at what they do.
Well, obviously. I mean, you guys, that's the other thing. If you go to the website, you'll see they've won a bunch of awards, significant awards. Said, you guys are top notch. And obviously, we know that you've been in business since 1924.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the classes if the public wants to come in and I don't know, for a hobby, whatever.
The classes are geared toward beginners. It's called a fundamentals class, and you will learn the basics on how to score and cut glass to get the shape that you're looking for. You learn copper foil technique, where you wrap each piece of glass with adhesive back foil tape and then solder those together to get your completed piece. You also learn the leaded process, where the glass is held together by lead came. Looks like a capital H.
Yeah.
You solder the joints on that. And it's a nice comprehensive class for one to get their feet wet in the craft and see if it's something you want to continue on with.
I thought it was fun when I did it. I mean, I learned some things that the first thing I learned is cutting that glass isn't as easy as you think it is.
Yeah, that usually has a tendency to intimidate some people when it really shouldn't.
Well, I mean, what you really learn is the people that can actually turn something into an intricate design. To me, it starts with cutting that glass, because I remember I had my glass cutter and my little piece of pliers or pliers where I was supposed to snap off these, and I can't tell you how many pieces of glass I've ruined. You grab too much, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I remember from it was, I had the soldering iron.
Yeah.
Okay, so to melt that, and if you're not careful with that, then you end up overheating the glass and cracking it.
Sure.
It's an intricate thing to be able to do. It seems simple when you look at it, not even close to being simple. But it was a heck of a lot of fun to be able to do that.
That's good. That's good you enjoyed it. And that's the big thing, is just making sure people enjoy it and don't get scared of it.
Have you ever had somebody from your class end up working for you? I mean, they got that involved, or?
I'm sure that it has in the past. Yeah, I'm sure that some people have carried on with it and gotten really good.
And I'm sure you've gotten some customers out of that too, perhaps.
Definitely, plenty.
Yeah,
plenty
they
of
go,
customers.
you know, I want you to make me one. I'm not capable of doing it. Make me a stained glass window.
Well, not only from the aspect of us creating a piece for them, the studio creating a piece for them, but the person that's taken the class and wants to continue on with it comes in and buys supplies from us.
Oh, see, something we should have talked about. That's right. I remember reading that on the website. You're the wholesaler or whatever.
That's it, exactly. Yeah, we have a retail wholesale division that carries everything that a person, an individual, or another studio needs to carry on their business.
Unbelievable. I forgot all about that. Okay, well, what I want to do is we're going to take a break here. And when we get back, we're going to go the process, because I tell everybody this on the radio show. I'm your worst customer. Okay? I'm the guy that, you know, when you come and do something for me and you ask me a question, I give you that glazed over look. I'm the guy, you know, I'm the guy that goes, I want a new shower. And you go, well, what do you want? What kind of shower door? What kind of tile? And I look at him and go, well, I don't know. Bring me something to look at. You're an artist. Trust me, I'm a numbers guy. And we're the farthest thing from artists. I couldn't pick out a paint color. That's how bad I am, okay? So we'll go through this process, because to me that's of interest to figure out how the heck, because I know you have to run into this. I'm sure you run into the people that come
Daily.
in. Yeah, here's the picture. This is exactly what I want. And then you have the husband and wife that comes in. The wife chatters, or maybe the husband chatters and the other one sits there, and you're trying to get them to this end point, right?
That's it, exactly.
Is that it?
Yep. You and I will push and pull back and forth a little bit until we can get really, really close together and figure out exactly what it is that you're looking for.
Okay, we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk more with Garrett about, you know, if you've ever thought of having a stained glass window done, he's going to tell you how he can get it done for you.
We'll do it.
We'll be right back. Okay. Let me see if I can turn this off now. Oh, jeez. Hold on 1 second here. I don't know. He'll be back. And we're still running here on Facebook. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, I want to have you mention your website a couple times. Do you need your card for that, or you got it? Okay. And how they can get in touch with you, and we'll go through what your hours are, that kind of thing. That's interesting. I am going through shelving for an entertainment center. Well, we have like a 12-foot wall that's natural, as a, you know, put bookcases up, whatever the heck. It is about killing me.
What's the deal? What's the issue?
I look at the designs and I go, I'm a blank. I mean, colors, my countertop that go over it, you know, all this stuff. Shelving's an issue too.
Really?
Yeah. The reason shelving's an issue, she wants floating shelves, right? Well, I like the floating shelf, but I don't like the factory floating shelf, so to speak. You know, where they make them at the factory. I don't like that at all.
Okay.
I like the what do they call that stuff today? The rough edge wood.
Live edge.
Live edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like a little bit of that look. And actually, I thought it was too much. Okay. And my thought process was with live edge, I wanted to you can tell I'm a designer.
perfect. I know exactly where you're going.
Live edge kind of has, you know, say it was 6 to 8 inches here, and then glass on top of it.
Okay.
I kind of like that look.
Yeah, sure. Where they would route in a rabbit, and then your glass sets down inside
On
it.
top of the.
Yeah, right.
It gives you kind of a unique kind of look.
Mhm.
So that's the latest thing that we're on. But me and my wife, oh my God, and she's almost as bad as me. It's unbelievable. It's so painful. We go to the cabinet shop, and you know, first of all, we walk around and we go, yeah, like that, yeah, like that, yeah. And then I go, well, you gotta pick something. And then the pain starts. Shook it. Yeah.
How you guys doing here?
Well, at about 16 minutes, we took a break.
Let me just.
So whenever you're ready, we're ready to.
Yeah, so I'm going to start you fresh with a new timer.
Well, let's see, 16.
So you go to about 26 normally?
Yeah, I think so.
So about 8 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
8 or 9. Yeah.
Whenever you guys want to start, you're ready.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Once again, we are talking with Garrett Pilarski. Did I get it right?
Good job.
Yeah, I did get it right.
You did well.
With Franklin Art Glass, an institution here in Columbus since 1924. And I've been remiss, Garrett. Tell them what your website is so people can go and look at the website.
Website is www.franklinartglass.com. We've got one going now, really nice. The folks have been working on a new design that's going to be launched pretty soon, and it's going to be phenomenal. But the one that we've got running right now is really slick.
And it's informative. I mean, I always look at the websites of my guests, and it shows you projects, talks about the classes that they put on, different kind of applications, for different industries, everything from residential. I mean, I went down through all of them, and it's pretty explanatory.
It really is. There's a really good gallery of previous projects that we've done.
Which are outstanding. I never would have thought. I mean, we talked about this. I went, Wendy's? For 45,000 land? I never would have thought that. I think in terms of, like I said earlier, well, they do the church stuff, but that's not it at all. You do just about anything in glass.
Sure. Yeah. Small awards.
Yeah? Yeah?
We'll get into that kind of stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
Sure.
Okay, well, we talked a little bit about this at the break. Like I said, everybody that listens to this show knows this about me. When someone with artistic ability or a remodeler asks me a question or asks me to make a selection, they will get a glazed look, okay? Because now, if you ask me how to build a motor, I can build a motor, okay? Has to do with numbers and geometry. But I have no sense of style. Well, look at the way I'm dressed. Okay?
You look fine for radio.
I have a face for radio. Okay. But there has to be a process when you're dealing with people that get them to an end point. In other words, they may walk in and just say, we thought it would be nice to have stained glass at our entry door. We'll use that as an example. Or maybe, like you said, we want to change our kitchen cabinets, our look. How do you get them to a final design?
First thing we need to get out of you is a design direction.
Okay.
At least point me in a direction. You're looking for something that's contemporary or something that's traditional?
I can do that.
Okay. So right there, rather than just spinning in circles, now we're heading somewhere.
Okay.
It gives me an opportunity to pull out a photo album of books projects we've done in the past.
Ah, okay.
And then from there we can start to narrow that design down even further.
Okay. Now, what's the process when you say narrow down the design? I think of, one of the things I'm doing right now is trying to get some cabinets. And I've gone through, they send me over, I don't know, you know, kind of a layout of the wall kind of thing. How do you do that with a customer?
Well, specifically with the kitchen cabinets, I'm going to take that layout that your supplier has given you.
Okay.
And we're going to look at, you know, how many doors are getting glass. What's the proximity of each door that's getting glass to the next one? You know, are we doing a bank that's all in a row? Are we doing 2 on one side and 3 on another side of the kitchen?
Okay.
And then we're going to go back to the photo albums, and you're going to start saying, you know, flipping through there saying, oh, I like this one. I like this, but I don't like this little part of it.
Okay.
So, you know, we'll use that direction from you to start to develop a new design specifically for your cabinets.
And if you're doing something, let's say I'll call it traditional. I don't know if this is the right term, but it's got all kind of different types of, you know, that stained glass is all different. There's like, to me, solid colors, opaque, you know, all that, and all them different, of the milky looking glass. How do you get all that pulled together?
A lot of people are overwhelmed whenever they walk in the studio and see the selection that we have as far as glass color and texture. We stock about 1,900 different colors and textures.
Oh my gosh. See, now I'd be there for a whole day.
So I just put X's in your eyes and you just tipped over in the chair.
Yeah.
But we're going to, you know, do you want to display the items that you're putting in the cabinets that are going to be behind the leaded panels, or do you looking to hide these things? So that's going to tell me what kind of glass we're going to use.
Oh, okay.
Something that's a little more dense, something with some opacity to it, heavy texture, you know, if you want to hide what's back in there.
Interesting. Here's something I thought of. I think would be unique. Have you ever done countertops in glass?
No, we really don't do countertops so much, but there are companies out there that do.
Really?
Yeah, that's a little bit out of our wheelhouse.
Okay. You're more of the design, artistic kind of. That's how I classify you guys. You're really artists.
We're gonna stay more toward the leaded and stained glass side of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if someone wants to get in touch with you because they want to start this process, how do they get in touch with you folks?
You can go to our website, franklinartglass.com. Go to I believe it's under the directory. You'll see various emails in there. One specific, several specific for supplies, and then mine's in there. If you're looking for custom work, you can click on that, send me an email. Jot down Garrett P, that's GARRET, letter P, at franklinartglass.com. That's my email address. I'm hooked up to that pretty much all the time. You can call the shop, 614-221-2972.
And what are the hours?
Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. Saturdays, 8 to noon.
And you do have a showroom,
Sure do.
right?
Oh, yeah.
You got to spend just a minute on that, the showroom, what they can expect to see.
Come down if we're not super busy and I got a little bit of time. I'll walk you through the whole joint, show you the whole process.
Let me know how good you guys really are. I've seen your operation before. It's quite amazing. It's not what you think. For people, it's not what. How many people do you employ?
We've got about 20 right now, front to back.
Yeah, I mean it's a big operation.
Yeah.
And the shop, like you said, it's huge. It's 23,000 square feet. And
Yep.
There's a ton of activity that goes on there.
Yeah, we take up the whole block. We go from Sycamore to Lear.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, give them your website one more time.
franklinartglass.com.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you, if you're out on Saturday in German Village and you have any thoughts at all that you might like to do some custom work with glass at your house, stop in and see them, because the showroom is phenomenal. And more importantly about that showroom is what you thought stained glass was, it'll change your mind. Because there's so many different things in there, things you don't think of.
It's not uncommon for people to walk in with what they think is the idea of what they want, and then we show them a couple of things. They go, I never guessed.
Yeah, well, that was me.
Yeah.
Okay, Garrett, I want to thank you for being on the show again.
Thanks for having me back.
And it's always a pleasure to talk to you. And folks, go to their website, take a look, and don't have any preconceived notions, because they can come up with just about anything that you want when it comes to windows or inserts for cabinet doors, whatever. And thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Good job.
Thanks, sir.
He does have a voice for radio.
He's a radio man. He's going to take over.